Hey guys, okay, so I wanted to explain the microneedling that I'm going to be doing on people and why you should come and see a professional to get it done. Okay, so this is the device. When it's on, I can actually turn it. I can turn all of these little numbers and make them work. It doesn't work when it's off, okay? And as you can see, there's little numbers on the dial here. And it controls how high up the little needles, there's 12 needle heads on here, it controls how high up the needle heads go into the skin. So if I turn it slowly, you'll be able to see. You don't need a lot of the actual needle going into, outside of the external, going into the skin. See how little, tiny bit that the needles are coming out? That's all a lot of people need, if that. That's actually a lot. So when I was doing microneedling on myself yesterday, I wasn't even going this high. And as you saw, doing it on my nose produced a little tiny bits of blood, which is why you use a different, they're called cartridges. That's why you'd use a different cartridge every single time. But I wanted to zoom in on the tip so that you can see it's barely a bunch of needles sticking out. Like, it's so barely there. And I like the one that actually vibrates up and down because it gives it basically like when you're walking in cleats. Have you ever heard that? If you walk through grass in cleats, it will aerate the grass. Why? Because it's creating little holes, just like a needle. It's creating little holes in the surface so that it can open everything up and give it some room, basically room to heal, is essentially what you're doing. And on the device, it's got little numbers. As I turn around, you can see that's how externally pushing out of the top that the needles can go. So if I keep turning the dial, it'll go bigger and bigger and bigger. This is not as high as you need to go. You don't need to go very deep. Yes, there's lots of layers of skin. The further deep you penetrate, the more damage you can actually do, which is why most of these tools have a stopping point at a 2, because you can absolutely break these needles off in your skin. Yes, you can break a needle in your skin, and then you're going to have to use tweezers or something to figure out how to get it out, because it's not supposed to do that. There's a lot of reasons you need to go see somebody to go and do this. Now, the cartridge that I'm using is a cartridge I used yesterday. I just wanted to put it in here because I already opened it. You want to keep your tools sterilized as much as possible. So when I do them really low. As you can see, it's not a whole lot. It just feels like a light scratching. And does it give you more benefits when it's low? Yes, because it's the surface of your skin that you actually see that's a problem. I got rid of my L11s with a low needle level. My L11s, and I'll show you in the next video that I'm going to do, because moving the camera, this phone's not fabulous, but I got rid of a lot of wrinkle issues just doing a short needle. You don't need the needles to be way out. That's bad. Like, you don't need deep penetration. What you're doing, just like if you're doing IPL, which is a laser, what you're doing is you're breaking up the skin and forcing the production of collagen. Why does that matter? Because when you create collagen in the skin, it creates elasticity, it creates the actual breakdown of the skin so that the skin will force itself to heal. IPL will do the same thing. This will do it faster, quicker, and it actually does more tightening. It does more skin rejuvenation. I've done a lot of IPLs, and I can honestly tell you, I don't know how long this will last for, but IPL can't get into the delicate eye area. The tool is too big. This can get into absolutely everything, and I'll show you the results from yesterday to today. Just like with IPL, I did notice some micro crusting. What does that mean? When you break up the actual cells in your skin, it will create little crusting on the surface. The surface is called the stratum corneum. The crusts look like dark freckles, kind of like coffee grounds. We tell you not to scratch them because what you can do is create a scab, which will not heal all the time properly. You have to let it fall off on its own. That's also why we tell people when you do microneedling or IPL, do not use anything abrasive, don't use any scrubs for a couple of days, just to let the skin heal. The skin is going to desquamate, which means it's naturally sloughing off the dead skin cells. When you do it intentionally, it's called exfoliation. It's the same thing, it's just a different terminology to describe specifically what you're doing. So just so that people get an idea and they really understand, there's lots of different tools that will do kind of sort of the same exact thing. What I have found on myself is that microneedling kind of replaces a bunch of tools. Just like you can do dermaplaning. Alright, what is dermaplaning? You're taking a scalpel or a razor and you're shaving the top layer of skin. The top layer of skin is the stratum corneum. It's where the dead skin cells go to rest. You want to get rid of the dead skin cells so that younger, brighter skin rejuvenation starts to happen. Well, when you shave them, what are you really doing? You're just taking off some of the problem. When you do microneedling, you're going deeper into the skin without causing a hard trauma. This is a gentle, controlled trauma to the skin. When the skin has trauma, the skin will naturally heal itself. So what you're doing is you are forcing the skin to try to heal itself so that you can get the benefits, the results of skin tightening, more elasticity, because it creates collagen. Collagen is the matrix of the skin. It creates more elasticity. It helps to bind the fibers in the skin and the muscles. Collagen is in absolutely everything. That's why it's good to eat it. It's good to apply it to your skin. It's good to utilize tools that force it to regenerate itself. Skin rejuvenation basically is you're forcing the skin to help itself to regenerate itself. But I think this video is long enough, and I will let you guys go, and I'll see you on the flip side. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Talk to you in a minute. Bye.